Hi everyone, I am Vimal and I welcome you to yet another episode of Tech Beans. Tech Beans promises to bring you all things tech. And what's more exciting in tech than AI, machine learning, and data science? Imagine a combination of all these things coming to you today from one of the best minds in the country in all these fields. I am talking about Sandeep Khuperkar, who is with me today. Sandeep is the founder of Data Science Wizards. Data Science Wizards is one of the most exciting companies in India and have been doing some fabulous work world over in the field of data science and artificial intelligence. We will hear from Sandeep about his journey, about the mission that Data Science Wizards, or DSW as we call it, is on, and what they are trying to do to transform the world by using these technologies. Without taking much more time, I would like to straight away go to Sandeep and ask him about his professional journey, the objective of DSW and the mission that they are on. Over to you, Sandeep. Sandeep, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Vimal. Thanks for having me here today. And it's a great pleasure. And I appreciate this series, and I have been seeing this series for some time now. And this is a very good initiative. So thank you for having me again here. Okay, regarding Data Science Wizards, it's very interesting because personally for me, I have been in journey of tech for almost now 27, 28 years, and in open source technology for 22 plus years, and being hands-on and also working in domain expertise like in banking, insurance, and now we are also getting into retail. So previously when I was building my open source company and I made an exit from there, that point of time, personally I had in my mind that, we need to do something wherein we can enable enterprises to have a tangible outcome leveraging AI capabilities. And this is where this entire thought process started. And then, we say like, the universe brings things together. I got connected with my founding colleagues, Pritesh, Shivam, and, Sandhya Khare, wherein we had the same thought process and where we had same cause. And the cause was very clear when we started DSW. And the cause was, what can we do wherein enterprises can leverage AI capabilities to enhance their business and operation processes. And with this, somewhere in April 2021, we started putting this blueprint together of our platform, which we have developed now, AI platform, UnifyAI. So this was a very interesting journey, and today we are almost 2 years from there. We have 2 production clients with us who are running our platform, and we are yet to announce our version 1 to GA our version 1 in the market.
So that's fabulous, Sandeep. Firstly, pleasure having you here, and thanks for taking out time for this series. In terms of our target audience, of course, we have people aspiring for a career in AI. We also have a lot of business users who are our customers, who are following us on these channels, who are on the other side of the table basically, right? So they have organizations, they're generating a lot of data, they know that it's valuable, they know that there are a lot of insights that can come up and actually transform their organization. While in our discussions or in my discussion with customers, there is somewhere a gap in terms of them understanding how to use this data or how to apply artificial intelligence. We are of course awed by chat GPT and all these things, but how do you apply this to business and transform an organization is something everyone wants to know today. And you are working with so many sectors and customers. So we would like to know your view on, and if I may ask you to assume that if there is a customer on the other side who is generating data but wants to know how to take that AI journey, can you just give a roadmap or an advice on how we should start?
Yeah, sure, Vimal. So yeah, this field is quite, I would say there is a huge spectrum and there is a lot of ambiguity, and things are looked in a very different way because it's evolving. So one of the things what we identified when we started developing this platform in 2021 was that, there is no question today in the industry that whether or not to adopt AI. Only thing is that how quickly, how predictably enterprises can adopt AI technologies. And that is where, a lot of hurdles and challenges what enterprises are facing today on the ground zero is that uh, multiple skills, too many moving parts in terms of technologies, integrating those things together to ensure that you have a full life cycle of AI, and then building the use cases. And once you build your use case, business value chain use case, and you deploy the models, machine learning models in production, the real game starts from there. The model should behave the way it should behave, has been thought to behave over there. And that is where that entire experimentation, re-experimentation to production journey starts. Something like, CI/CD in DevOps. So it's a continuous integration and deployment of that entire cycle which is required for enterprises to go in production. One of the things what we observed also is that if you see a lot of reports, analyst reports, is that 80 to 85% of organizations are not able to go into production. And those go into the production, they take almost 6 to 8 months to get into the production with AI use cases or ML use cases. And there is a reason. It's not that, they don't have capability, but the reason is that there are too many junctions which they have to integrate together. If I had to put it a little bit simple way, there are two realms which has to come together in this entire journey, and those are, one is data engineering and second is data science. Both the realms have their own way of designing things, own way of architecting things, and different technologies to put together. So they are a world by itself. And if you see in this entire cycle of taking your use case to production, heavy lifting happens at data engineering side. Right. And that is something we are solving through our platform UnifyAI, which gives them an end-to-end capability, right from integrating data to feature engineering to developing machine learning model, single click deployment of model into the production, and then maintaining the model through the capability which is inbuilt for monitoring and managing machine learning model for its drift. And not only that, but why this drift is caused, what attribute is causing this drift. So this is a complete, I would say that AI use case hosting and orchestrating platform for enterprises. And this would help them and helping them to quickly take off their AI use cases, get into the production. And here I would like to share for one of our reputed life insurance customer in India, wherein UnifyAI platform is in production and they are running 5 use cases in production right now. And the important point here is that, and which we were also, very much glad to see, that was first use case took almost 3.5 months to get into the production. Sure. That was persistency use case. But today the 5th use case which they are running took only 22 days. And there is a reason, there is nothing magic, there is a reason, because the feature stored in our platform, it's getting rich and rich by the time you start building multiple use cases. Who knows, 8th or 9th use case would be plug-in. Right. We don't know. Because if you see across the domains, if you average out the business value chain use cases, 80 to 85% data source remains common. Right. So there will be a time where 9th or 10th use case probably would be just plug-in. That's the beauty of this platform, that it helps you to get through data engineering to data science capability without involving much of various skill sets and getting into the production with single click. Right. If you see about, the way we are looking at it is like, it should go to a stage where business users should able to build their use case model and deploy into the production. That's what this platform journey is moving towards.
It's so fabulous to hear about UnifyAI. What I understood is that, of course, there's a journey with data. Going from data to insights is the biggest thing that an organization can do today, because it can transform the organization. What you're telling me is Unify.ai will help them with accelerating time to insight, bringing down the cost to insight, and with every iteration it will become so smart that today there's a lot of technology backing needed for it, but eventually it can become a self-serve platform where a business user goes there, can plug and play, and just derive the insights in that quick time. So go to market becomes faster, and so many other things happen. So Sandeep, tell me, this looks, I can feel that it will be magical when this runs over a year or two as a platform, right? You've already given the example of how the cycles are getting shorter. Now help me understand, when you go and pitch this to a B2B enterprise, let's take an example. Let's say it's a bank or insurance company. How does the decisioning happen? Who are the people involved? How does the adoption of a platform happen, and what are the challenges that you face in that regard? Because everyone is at a different stage of the journey. So how do you sort of navigate that challenge and bring them to adopt UnifyAI, sorry.
Yeah, this is actually, something where a lot of conversation takes place, and there are not a single persona who actually decides on this. So the way it happens is that in any sector, if we talk about insurance or retail or banking, where we are working very closely, there are various personas for whom the different aspects are important, and also there are various organizations who are in a different stage of adopting AI. So let me start by saying that in our experience, the way we have seen is that it doesn't depend on the how large or small the organization. It really depends on what stage they are in their AI journey. So we call it as AI emerging. So there are organizations who are just trying to see that how they can leverage AI capabilities with some one or two use case success. So for them, it is very important to see that how they can build some success by leveraging AI capabilities with one or two identified use cases. Then we are saying that AI ready, wherein they have identified the use cases, and they pretty much know that have some kind of data in place which is properly aligned, but they are ready. But for them to do the journey from data integration till getting into the production, there is a lot of stages. Like here they may require data engineers, then the developers, data scientists, the infra guys. So it's quite a journey. So they are looking at how best efficiently they can do this journey to quickly see the success of use case while they have identified it. Then there are customers who are at a stage which we call it AI advanced stage, where they are already running some models for their use cases, and they are fragmented today. So they are seeing that how they can make this more scalable. Like I will give one of the example where we are working is, they have 3 use cases, and their machine learning models are running probably locally on data scientist laptops. Now they also faced a challenge that with each use case they had to go through the same cycle of data integration, building the pipeline, building the features, and going the same cycle. So with each use case they are going to the production with 3 to 4 to 5 months kind of journey. Now they are seeing that we have already models running, we have use cases in pipeline. How best predictably and scalably we can put these things together and reduce our time to production, which would invariably reduce the TCO. So all these segments are there. So for them, like for AI emerging customer, we talk about the success of use case, and they see this success of use case through UnifyAI. So for them this becomes important, and once they see success, they see that, oh, because of UnifyAI they were able to build this success and show internally that how they can move forward with AI journey. For AI ready clients, where they already have identified use case where the data is little bit streamlined, for them they see the power of integration through this platform, that they have got a platform where they can integrate quickly, they can spun off the instances, they can start building the model, and they can go to the production. So they see a partially value of the platform because of integration, and they see that how quickly they can take their machine learning model, which can be developed inside the platform or externally, it's their choice, and take to the production. For advanced clients, the value they are seeing is actually platform. How this platform is able to host and orchestrate their all use cases. They have a single view of use cases. They can see the return on investment on their all use cases, and from that platform they can manage, monitor all the use cases in production. So it's not then person dependent, it's not on the skill dependent then, once you have platform. So I would like to draw an analogy like, some 10-12 years back, when every organizations were looking at, containerizing their applications. So one of the great, cause they used to have was, to pack the application with their libraries and roll it out into the multiple location. There were very less chances of errors. Slowly, when they started seeing that they are running too many containers in their organization, their problem statement shifted from just containerizing to managing those containers, managing high availability among the containers, and managing the and load balancing those containers. That is where we started seeing in the market a great momentum which started for Kubernetes and OpenShift kind of platform. They were already there, but suddenly, exponentially we started seeing the adoption of container orchestration platforms. Same way, today everybody just think that writing a machine learning model by itself is an AI journey. It's a part of that. But the way enterprises will have to make it more predictable and scalable, they will need this platform. They will need some platform, and that is what we are solving through UnifyAI. Also, I would like to highlight here is that why platform? And it was a very difficult choice for us then and today also, because there is a lot of scope in AI and data science services today. And we are not saying that you should not do that. You should, because more and more solutions required by enterprises is driving the growth of platform. The moment we see a different kind of solutions which organizations are looking, because this is evolving. This field is not yet come to a stage where you have a definite answer for everything. It's evolving. So technology is evolving, needs are evolving, customers are evolving in terms of how best they can adopt. So it's a simultaneous journey everybody is doing today in the market. So more and more solutions we are seeing today. More and more it is driving a need of platform, because tomorrow a client, take an example, customer, if they have a 10 different kind of AI solutions with use cases, it's very difficult for them to manage with different vendors, different technologies, to make it more predictable and scalable. So more solutions, you will see it's driving the need for platform to make it more predictable and repeatable. Like you should able to reuse those things. So that is where we are taking our UnifyAI, because more and more solutions we have seen, we have done through our organization initially when we started, we are building all that capability into UnifyAI.
That's brilliant, Sandeep. This is very, very insightful. And with insights, again, what I got as a takeaway from everything that you said is that with UnifyAI and with the platform, which is obviously a tough call you've taken because many people are at various stages of maturity. But with this platform, what you're trying to do is probably revolutionize the entire industry in terms of thinking about how much time it will take for an insight, accelerate that. How much cost would it take for an insight, reduce that. If every business user can be empowered with an insight at their fingertip, empower that. You are also, and Unify may be the right name because you are actually, from what I understood, taking decision as a collaborative step where every stakeholder can come together with the help of technology and collaborate to take a decision, and probably a data-backed and well-informed decision in a quickest possible time. This sounds very exciting. And in my audience, I obviously have a lot of people who are, maybe just doing their engineering, coming out of college. So many, people with stars in their eyes with respect to AI, with respect to ML, with respect to data sciences. They all want to have a career in this. Right? So you being a seasoned veteran in this field, and for the benefit of that section of our audience, if you could tell them 3 tips. I'm an 18-year-old, so what are these 3 tips? I'm an engineering graduate or a STEM graduate. What are these 3 tips that will take me from an academic on these areas with interest and passion to come into this field exactly and create a difference? Three tips, if you could just concise this into three tips.
Okay, so let me see if I can make it three tips. But before that, I would like to share with the young minds also that when we look at AI and data science, AI, if I had to put it in a very simple way, is tools and technologies. And data science is, a science which you apply on data. And the people who are applying this science on data are data scientists. And these data scientists need the tools which are AI tools to get the inferences from the data. And believe me, this AI and data science, they go hand in hand, and this is not a glamour, and this is not something a trend also. I believe this is the necessity and this is the need of the industry and for all of us today, because the way data is getting generated, the way not only in terms of volume, today we don't even call it big data because everything is big. It's not in terms of volume but also variety and kind of different sources. It is very important that at least I would say enterprises would want to leverage their own data to bring out the inferences which will help them to keep them ahead of the competition. And I would like to give this example, and this is important for students also, because when they say that they just want to do AI and data science, but they should understand uh, uh, the larger picture of that. And I would give one example how it is changing things. Okay, let's take an example of any insurance industry. If I bring it down to a level like, at the end of the day, they design a innovative policies and they sell the policies. If insurance company A bring out a new policy that will have some features, there is a window of only 4 to 5 months where some other organization B, company insurance B, brings out policy with other name which would have these features plus 2. So the competition is, how best policies you can bring. Now, while that window is too short, and when you release the policy or brings the policy in the market, you have to then ensure that you capture the market before the competition comes in. The way AI and data science is helping industries is that not only to identify them how best they can design the product, which means policy here, because it's based on demography, based on a lot of parameters, but also before releasing, what would be their strategy to get into the market. Before releasing, they know that in this window, these are the areas I have to go and position it, not entire geographical or entire country. So I think so the data is there. Only thing, they are applying AI and data science capabilities to that to bring out the inferences to make it more specific for their business. This is for each sector. So for students, if I had to tell them three things, probably first is that it is very important to get into the fundamentals. At the end of the day, the fundamental knowledge is very important. Fundamental means, fundamental of any enterprise architecture. Not just a architecture which is in their engineering college labs, like database, middleware, application server, networking. Without this holistic understanding, it becomes very difficult to get deep dive. That's why we call it as a T section. You can get deep into somewhere, but you need to have that breadth. So fundamental of this entire enterprise architecture landscape, and this is a learning if they start doing while they are in their engineering or masters, that would help them. Second, understanding data in very detail, and third, mathematics, because this space will involve a lot of good mathematics understandings like statistical vectors. So mathematics understanding is good. So just look at it like, you are going to solve some real world problem and move forward with this. Yeah, that's what I can say to them.
Thanks, Sandeep. I think you might have just ignited a spark to create some of the best data science, data engineering professionals over the next 5 to 10 years. It's great that you have given them 3 precise tips on what they should do. I hope they follow, and we have a lot of such engineers in India or data scientists in India. So Sandeep, now just going to the other side, you are one of the most exciting startups, and I think you are in the process of revolutionizing the thought itself in the industry in terms of creating a platform, building that out in terms of thinking of data science as not just a use case by use case scenario, but rather a platform on which the entire organization's data resides, and you are essentially liberating everything from data silos, putting it onto a platform, and then transforming the way insights and decisions are taken. So, which is fabulous. But having said that, the audience still wants to, understand some use cases, and that gives them the excitement. So, if you could, in a gist, tell us about, let's say, 3 industries, and I know the kind of audience that sits, and we do analytics on what kind of people watch our shows. So I think if you could touch upon banking, if you could touch upon insurance, and if you could touch upon retail, 3 things where, let's assume these companies have UnifyAI. So what changes for them vis-a-vis today? So if they implement UnifyAI, what changes for a bank, what changes for an insurance company, and what changes for retail?
Okay, so Vimal, here I would like to say that first, banking, insurance or retail or for any domain, what would change when they are on UnifyAI first across the domain? So for that, let me little bit take a step back and try to give an insight on how this works. So any domain, when they decide to build a use case, AI-enabled use case, the journey as a services would start like identifying the data sources, bringing that data sources together, which is required for the use case. Probably they will build a data pipeline for that. Then the entire process goes through EDA, exploratory data assessment. Then you build a machine learning model. This, in the EDA process, actually your data gets prepared. It is prepared because model cannot consume the raw data, it gets prepared. So this data will be consumed by the model. Then this model, once developed, takes some time to get deployed into the production, like you need to put all the artifacts together and it gets into the production. So there is a process for that. So there are different journey here for any domain if they have to build their use case. Now once model gets into the production, they have to also be cognizant of the fact that this model needs to be monitored, because over a period of time model drift can happen due to various reasons. So that drift needs to trigger a kind of manually, or the way they want to plan, training, retraining and training on the data set for that model again. So it's a complete process, and once it gets into the production, this process, this flow should be in the loop continuously. Now to do this process, even if you identify a use case, it's a journey, and it's a journey through different departments in the organization, which involves data, which involves infra, which involves developers, which involves the operation side. So if I have to say that, like in DevOps concept, from development to operation, this process was already there. Only thing what made this process easy, predictable and scalable was CI/CD pipeline. So continuous integration to continuous deployment of the software codes or applications which we are getting rid. Same is happening here. So even if you do this as a service, and if these are fragmented piece, tomorrow if you have to retrain this model, you have to again go through the different fragments of this process. So that entire journey is now changed because of UnifyAI, because you have a platform which integrates this entire thing as a CI/CD for your AI lifecycle. That is first change. Second, now what changes in this is, many times most of the organizations may not go through having a feature store. It depends, And in that case, what happens with each use case, you have to go through the cycle again and again. What changes here is we have inbuilt feature store, which starts getting enriched based on the use cases you start building. So what happens tomorrow? The new use case, when you identify, there are features which you can reuse to build that new use case. So your time to building that gets reduced because you are already connected to the data sources. And if any new data source is there, we have a connector inside the platform. So mostly what changes is time to build. Any use case, you have to anyway write the models. So it's not that you will have a pre-written machine learning models. So like in retail, I will come to retail. We have worked on top flop model. It's a use case. So that use case, if I have to put it simply, is like if I have to build a new product, where it will be top and where it will be flop. And not only that, but also based on that, your distribution channel gets planned, where the stocking should be done, how much manufacturing should be done, how it should be distributed and supply chain. So this use case will need machine learning model to be developed. But once you have this entire platform with you, you are just plugging in the model. Awesome. Right? Second, sales prediction or forecasting. That is a use case in retail, what we have worked on, wherein, again, there would be couple of data sources which are already leveraged for top flop, for which the features has been built, are reused here. So the life becomes absolutely, simple with predictability, and they can start scaling. So that is where I said that with this insurance company, the fifth use case got developed and deployed in net 22 days. So that is a change. Now if you talk about insurance, again, one use case you have built, this platform takes care of the entire integration portion of that, and you just start identifying on the right hand side use cases. So we have built persistency, we have built early claim, we have built sales attrition, we are now working on fraud use case, which is in banking also we are working. So use cases will be multiple use cases. Like one of the example I will share with you, because of this platform, another choice and freedom what customers are getting is they can just think of use case and they can try, and if they find that this use case is not relevant, they can drop the use case, which is not possible if you don't have a platform, because you have to plan that entire cost of building that use case, time of building that use case. So you have to be very clear whether this use case should be built or not. One of the use cases like this, mis-selling of policies. So it's a very impactful use case for any insurance company, because that is a area where most of the time the same policy may get mis-sold to different people from. So that use case, if you have the same data, you can build, you can see if you don't want. So you can orchestrate your use case here, which is not possible if you don't have a platform. So this is something like, if I had to give an analogy, like in 2001 Linux came as an operating system. It never went into the mission critical deployments, and environment in those days, because everywhere there was Unix, superpower Unix, no doubt about Unix. But the reason why it started capturing the market, because of its flexibility, the choice is provided to the customers. And today, if you'll see, it has become a default platform of choice for almost all organizations. This is how we are seeing UnifyAI. It will go into a journey of becoming a default platform of choice for all the organization to start getting on their AI journey. So it's like an OS of AI probably, which becomes like, you deploy and there is no vendor lock-in here. So tomorrow if they want to work with DSW, it's okay, or else they can start building their own use cases on top of this platform.
That's awesome, Sandeep. So thanks for helping us understand how retail can adopt, insurance can adopt, banks can adopt this. One of the most interesting things I took away from that answer was that you are now giving a business user or a management level person in a company the decision, or rather the freedom to work with data, experiment with data, And if it doesn't work, there's no fear that, okay, you've deployed so much of your time, cost, and effort, because you can experiment faster. And of course, once you experiment, you get sharper, and that's how anything on data works, right? So that's very good. You're giving them the freedom to experiment, the freedom to build new things, freedom to generate sharper insights over a period of time. So that's one part of what you are doing, and which is revolutionary in its own sweet way. The other side is, if you look at our country, you know, data is sort of now reached every nook and corner. You have internet in almost every place in India. So it's creating a lot of startups and backed by data, technology. They're transforming everything with respect to technology and data, right? Any industry you go to today, there's fintech, there's edtech, there's, you name it and there is tech, right? So with data and technology, everything is getting transformed. So in that scenario, and from your vantage point of talking to customers, talking to people in multiple countries, especially India, what is the vision for UnifyAI? Let's say over the next 7 years. Let's say vision UnifyAI 2030. What would be that vision? And maybe if you could add at the end of that vision statement, or what you're trying to do with the ecosystem, if you could just add, how can the customers reach out to you, or how can anyone who is interested reach out to UnifyAI, and if they align with your vision and collaborate with you? So just summing it up, because probably I said a lot. So one is, what is the vision UnifyAI 2030? And second is, how people who align with this kind of a vision and see value in that, how do they approach you, and how do you enable them to collaborate with you?
Okay, so vision, yeah. So I would not say 7 years or 5 years, but one of the cause which we started is to break the luxury of AI. Okay, and what does it mean is that it should not be only available to few select, and this is what UnifyAI is going towards. Today you use ChatGPT. It's a generative AI, part of generative AI, right? One of the part of generative AI. So you are not dealing with the complexity of, whether how to handle, the LLM beneath that, how to handle or having a knowledge of data science to deal with ChatGPT. You just ask, it answers you. So it's like you are a user, you are using generative AI technology without having a knowledge of that probably, and getting an answer. Same way, our vision is to make UnifyAI platform in a way that without business user getting into this skill set should able to derive the power of AI for their use cases. That's a very, very broad vision. Having said this, the way we are moving forward towards that, it's a journey and it will take time. It's a journey. Is today, we are having this capability internally of not only auto ML but auto EDA. What does that mean is it would cut short the entire time of EDA process. So, and second is, complemented with auto ML, and the way we are seeing this platform to moving forward in next 6 to 7 months is like auto AI, which has all the portion right from building pipeline to auto feature to auto EDA to auto ML. So all automation internally, making this platform in a way of auto AI. So larger vision is, yes, to break the luxury of AI and to ensure that every industry should able to leverage the power of AI through UnifyAI platform. And also we are working on a base version of UnifyAI, which will be releasing as a community edition probably over a period of time, which would become like a SaaS offering where you can come, you can try your build machine learning model, try your use cases. But when it comes to enterprise, it will be always an enterprise ready platform. And that is where we have partnered with AI Planet, which is in Europe. They have a very huge community network of AI, like open source AI community network. And we are working together to see that how UnifyAI can be hosted there so that it gets open for everyone to try, test, and see the power of the platform to build their own use cases and machine learning models on top of that. So yes, vision is, if I had to now summarize, first vision is, broad vision is to break the luxury of AI through UnifyAI platform so that it becomes available for everyone to leverage the power of AI. Second, we see that this platform simplifies the adoption of AI for enterprises for their business value chain use cases. And third, our vision is that it becomes a default choice as a platform for enterprises, which gets rolled out. They will say that, okay, you have UnifyAI, now start your AI journey. So that simplistic it should get into. That's our vision.
I think that's great. That's a great vision, Sandeep, because we normally tend to make technology very complicated. So AI seems like something which is beyond the grasp of even average minds. It's like you have to be a technology geek to understand AI. So what UnifyAI and all of you at DSW is doing is you are, if I may say so, democratizing or creating a level playing field with AI for everyone out there, which means I could be a startup with maybe 2 people and just some passion, or I could be a large enterprise grappling with understanding what to do with all the data generated. Either ways, or I could be just a student, trying to understand and learn the ropes of AI. So you are building it as something of value for each of these constituents is what I understood. And I think that is very good in terms of what you're doing to the community at large, over and above obviously building cases for enterprise and so on. So firstly, thank you for your time, and it was a very, very good session that you've had. I'm sure the audience has made a lot of notes and done a lot of takeaways from your session. If some of them want to reach out to you, it's an enterprise or maybe some of the startups and things like that. If they want to reach out to you, they want to align with you, collaborate on their AI journeys. If you could, as a parting thought, tell them how they can reach out to you and collaborate, and any other parting message in terms of what you're seeing in this space, that'll be all.
Thank you, Vimal. And okay, so you can always reach out to us at probably, the best way is email, contact@datasciencewizards.ai through our website, or you can always reach out to me at LinkedIn.
Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you so much for your insights. I think I personally learned a lot about some of these terms I constantly keep hearing. I'm sure a lot of people in our audience also learned a lot about data science, AI, ML, CI/CD, feature store, data engineering. So many of these terms, you made it so simple. And that's the beauty of this chat. You've made it so understandable for all of us. So thank you once again for taking time out. I know you have a busy schedule, but thank you for taking time out for TechBeans. And to our audience, I'd just like to say, go and Google out Data Science Wizards, go and Google out Unify.ai, reach out to Sandeep, or put your comments in the video itself, and we'll ensure that we have Sandeep maybe respond to it. We'll request him to respond or maybe touch base with you. But thanks for your time, and I hope this was a very, I wouldn't say enjoyable, but maybe this was an enlightening session on AI for all of you. Thank you so much.